Hey, this is Matt from InvestiQuant. Today is Friday, January 22nd, 2021, and yesterday we made yet another 52-week high close. We've been doing that here often, it seems like, in the past handful of sessions. So what I want to do this morning is take a look at what has happened historically when you get overnight weakness like we're currently seeing. The market is pulling back quite a bit following yesterday's 52-week high close. And we're going to look at what happens when you open below the prior session's low of day, and the prior session made a 52-week high close. And I will set that up here in all four instruments. We're going to be looking at a setup based upon entering at the open of regular trading hours, which is 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, exiting at the close of regular trading, which is 4:15 p.m. Eastern Time. And the opening filters, like I said, we're going to be looking at opening below the prior session low of day. So I'm going to come in here to the opening area, and I'm going to hit equals next to open below prior day low. Then I'm going to go into the price patterns library, and I'm going to select day after 52-week high close from the new highs section. It's also available on that active today, but if I just barely scroll down here, it'll show up equals next to day after 52-week high close, and then I'm going to hit view results. And here we go. These are the results of going long at the open, which is 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, exiting at the close, which is 4:15 p.m. Eastern Time, when you open below the prior day low and the prior day closed at a 52-week high. So historically, we've got 38 samples in the S&P, we've got 23 in the NASDAQ, 34 in the Dow, and only 9 in the Russell. So very rare scenario there for the Russell. It doesn't happen a whole lot for the others either, but Russell is extremely rare. And this is based upon data going back to 2003. And if we look at the win rates on this, you'll notice they're quite strong. This is often finished with a green candlestick on this day. So the S&P 74%, the NASDAQ 70%, the Dow 65%, and the Russell 56%. If we look at the average win is larger than the average loss in the ES. That is not the case for the NASDAQ. The average win is larger than the average loss in the Dow and the Russell. And one thing I did want to point out here is, this platform has the ability to show you what the price action looked like on all of these samples that are included in each of these tests. So I've got the ES selected here. That's the S&P 500E mini contract. You can see it's highlighted there. So since that's highlighted, I can click on the view daily charts and we can look at the price action. I wanted to point something out to you in the price action of these days. So this is the most recent example of this setup taking place. It happened in December. This is December 2nd of 2020. I had it gap down. And that day, you'll notice it pretty much took off from the open. It did not spend much time testing lower. It just quick little blip lower and then started working its way higher, ended up closing up at the highs of the day. Let's start scrolling through some of these and see if you pick up on anything here. So the next one back happened in February of 2020, and it's kind of similar. So it opened, tested a little bit lower, and then started working its way higher. Never really did much below the open there. Let's go back again. You'll notice this one, just a small winning day on this day, but another similar pattern where it did not spend much time below the opening print before it took off to the upside. It did pull back late in the day, but it did close above the open. So the past three examples have all been winning sessions here, closing above the open with little time spent below the open. Go back another sample, same deal. We're seeing a push off the open, goes sideways, very little time spent below the open. Next one back, I think this is our sixth sample in a row now that is showing this similar pattern where it's taken off to the upside off the open, not spending hardly any time below the open and finishing with a winning session. This day, similar, not quite as obvious as the others, but if you look at the scaling on the left-hand side, this is not a sizable pullback. This is about 6, 7 points of a pullback here early on, and then it moves higher. We'll go one more. This is one that just barely became a winning day. And this one did pull back quite a bit throughout this session, but I noticed this pattern. I went through a lot of these. I'm not going to go through all of them here, but the pattern was similar. Here's another sample where you didn't get much of a pullback early on, and then it was off to the upside. So if you got access to the platform, you can scroll through all these. I'm not going to take up your whole morning looking at all of them, but it was something I picked up on, and something I thought I would point out is if it doesn't make a whole lot of room to the downside early on, then this pattern has often found its low of day around the first half hour or so of trading, and that's not been a sizable amount below the open. So I thought I would point that out to you this morning. Hopefully you found it helpful. Good luck, and we will see you next time.